Welcome to the White Coat Entrepreneurs Podcast, a place where physicians, pharmacists, and other healthcare professionals who are pursuing entrepreneurial ventures within and beyond the medical field come together to share their stories, journeys, and strategies.
I am Dr. Victoria, your host.
Going to be talking about my unexpected leap from pharmacy practice to entrepreneurship, and just give you a little bit of backstory. When I was in uni, I was like the typical what you would call an A student, and I was really passionate about clinical pharmacy. I was the person that would go extra mile during laboratory sessions. I participated in patient counseling competitions. I was just doing so many things that demonstrated how passionate I was with, when it comes to like practicing pharmacy. I did student exchange programs. I did my internship in different places, including hospitals, community pharmacy stores, and even a pharmaceutical industry. So I was that passionate about pharmacy. Like I literally practiced in different countries and at different capacities. And I never saw myself transitioning out of pharmacy at this stage, at this time of my life, because most of my goals, most of my passions, pharmacy literally felt like my calling. That was what it felt like. And I was giving it all my energy. At some point, when I graduated, I volunteered to as an intern for the International Federation of Pharmacists, and I worked on some publications for them. At a point, I volunteered with the International Pharmaceutical Students Federation. Most of my life revolved around practicing pharmacy. And I was just really passionate about it. I already saw myself pursuing a master's degree and a PhD in line with clinical pharmacy, and maybe doing some more research in some maybe things I have to like do with like maybe specialist areas when it comes to clinical pharmacy. And mind you, I spent 6 years getting a PharmD degree. So having to get to a point when I am actually enjoying something else outside pharmacy, it's more like something that surprised so many people that knew how passionate I was about pharmacy. So what was the turning point for me? At the time, I was working in a teaching hospital, and then I was newly married and I was expecting my first child. I remember I would have morning shifts, I would have afternoon shifts in some occasions, and sometimes I would have evening or night shifts. And I wasn't really getting the level of job satisfaction that I thought I would be getting from pharmacy. I think that was the time that I started telling myself, I want to be known for something else beyond pharmacy. I can't build my entire identity and my entire source of income around pharmacy. I just had that desire to, like to explore other interests, other passions outside pharmacy. And the very first thing that I tried was building a community for pregnant and postpartum moms. And here is what happened. I'd already worked for, I think it was like maybe for some months in the maternity care units in the pharmacy. And I was seeing a lot of cases. I was seeing how clueless some moms were when it came to like how they are taking care of themselves in pregnancy, like the level of education and the awareness they had about the whole experience. And I was also expecting my first child at that same at the moment. And I remember like maybe having to see some gynecologists and not having clarity to some of the questions that I had about what I was experiencing, despite being in the healthcare field. So I felt like I saw a genuine need there. And in one of my in an exchange program that I did in 2019, I worked with a team of medical experts, and I spent a lot of time with the gynecologists, like when they were attending mostly to either pregnant or postpartum moms. So I had like a passion to help that group of women. So what I wanted to build was to be like an educational consultancy and community for them, where I partner with gynecologists to like, answer, to do some virtual consultations and answer some questions that they have, and just create courses, programs and a community where they can feel safe, ask questions, and of course, going forward, maybe introduce like different ways to actually monetize it. That was the first thing that I tried. And I dove into it head on. Why still practicing pharmacy? Why still working at that teaching hospital? But it didn't quite go as I planned. As you know, if you've ever tried to build anything, everything seemed to be going fine for a period until it wasn't anymore. And then I started giving more focus to like digital marketing. I remember that I had come across copywriting at some point, even took a course on copywriting. So like some of the challenges I was experiencing trying to build that first business made me to like give more time to copywriting, to like explore it more, to learn it all the more. And that was how my copywriting career started to take off. Like it just started to take off slowly, slowly. And then I started signing clients from different parts of the world. And then with time, I decided to like go from not just presenting myself as a freelancer, but actually being a business owner, creating courses, having coaching programs, and just really like branding myself in a way that shows that I actually serve my clients at a premium level, and then going on to like register my business. And also I also ended up being a co-founder for a community pharmacy store with my husband. So that's like the backstory of how I came to this point. Of course, like this doesn't cover everything, but I'm just like giving you like, you know, the more like an overview of how I transitioned from being a pharmacist to what I currently do. And to be honest, that came with a lot of questions, and I still get those questions even today. One is from family and friends, then colleagues. People don't understand why, especially people that knew how excellent I was at being a pharmacist and how passionate I was about pharmacy. So it was like, so what are you doing now? So does that pay you? So do you make money from it? And because I work from home, a lot of people tend to feel that I'm actually jobless, when in fact I make way more money than I was making when I was practicing pharmacy. I enjoy what I do, the time freedom, the location freedom, the opportunity to just stay home with my children and all of that. And to be honest, it doesn't mean that it hasn't come with its challenges, but then the truth is it's giving me more satisfaction than I had when I was actively practicing pharmacy. And I'm not even planning to like abandon pharmacy completely, but I'm going to approach it from more of an entrepreneurial perspective, you know, like maybe investing in maybe building some businesses and then employing other people to actually practice actively. But then I would approach it from a place of like maybe being a founder and just bringing my ideas, my strategies, and all of that. Because I seem to be having a lot more fun in marketing and expressing it through copywriting. And with some other business ideas and ventures that I'm coming up with recently, I feel like I would describe myself as a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And I just feel like I can't say that I have figured everything out completely, but I'm enjoying the journey, you know, as I continue to like come up with ideas and just see where it leads me. And one of the things that helped me was getting to a point where I didn't tie my identity to the fact that I spent years in school trying to get my pharmacy degrees. I was excelling at it. I decided to give myself permission to explore other interests. I decided to give myself permission to know that I don't have to be known for only one thing. I don't have to excel at only one thing. What I want can evolve. It can be pharmacy today, it can be a different thing tomorrow. Maybe 5 years from now, I could even be doing something totally different from what I'm doing now. And in subsequent episodes, I'm going to be sharing so much about how I had to navigate those conversations with family and friends, how I branded myself, or more like rebranded myself, you know, to be very confident about where I am now and what I am doing now. And I'm also going to be interviewing a lot of thriving entrepreneurs that are either part-time or full-time physicians or pharmacists and also other healthcare professionals. So no matter where you are at your journey, whether you're still practicing and then you have entrepreneurship as something you're doing on the side, or you have transitioned fully, I just think it's good to like give yourself the permission to just explore your interest, to explore your passions within reason, of course, because you have to like set realistic goals, like you have to like validate any idea that you want to jump into. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining us on another insightful episode of the White Coat Entrepreneurs podcast. I hope you've gained valuable insights and inspirations to follow your entrepreneurial journey. Whether you're still practicing in the healthcare field or have transitioned into new entrepreneurial paths. Before we wrap up, I need you to do two things. First, join our White Coat Entrepreneurs newsletter by visiting www.whitecoatentrepreneurs.com and stay connected with exclusive content, industry updates, and valuable resources to help you navigate the challenges and opportunities of being a healthcare professional turned entrepreneur. Second, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review. Your support means everything to us and helps us reach even more physicians, pharmacists, and other healthcare professionals who are pursuing their entrepreneurial dreams. Remember, you have the power to create wealth and positive change by combining your clinical expertise with entrepreneurial mindsets. Whether you're changing patient care, building businesses, growing a startup, exploring new ventures, so keep pushing forward, keep innovating, and keep inspiring others along the way. Until next time, this is Victoria Onyeje, wishing you success in all your entrepreneurial endeavors.